Hi everyone, it's Tasleem here. I was thinking the other day about something that I learned in dance and how, once again, it is so appropriate in other areas of my life, especially romantic relationships and dating. So, this concept is something that you learn very early on in partner dance in particular. Matching the connection and I don't want to say pressure because that sounds like maybe the wrong word, but at this moment I can't think of like a better word, but matching the connection or the pressure that your partner is giving you in dance. So we come to dance lessons and sometimes we don't want to be too forceful. And so we're so light that our partner cannot feel us and cannot even feel the connection, so they don't know how to feed off of that because there's nothing there enough for them to move us and to even feel our presence. Or we could be the other way where we are used to. So for me, this is really interesting because I consider myself a small, quiet, at least before dancing kind of person, and I don't consider myself aggressive, but I didn't feel like I was doing enough. So like as far as connecting or um I didn't know how to just wait for the lead, for the connection, for guidance. So I thought that I needed to do something more. So I was putting too much pressure. I've said in other videos where a dance teacher once told me it was like, even though I'm 111 pounds, that he felt like I was like 300 pounds and that he had to drag me around. Again, has nothing to do with people's weight, but it's just like if you're showing up as 3 times as heavy as you actually are, there might be too much pressure going on there, and you have to like gauge what is your partner giving you. And I'm realizing, like, in all areas of dating right now, and even when I see, like, my friends who are already in relationships, married, or have, like, longtime partners, this is such a crucial part of the masculine feminine energy dynamic that I've been talking about in my other videos. Because whether it's in dating or dance, like, if someone gives you a little bit of like, whether it's connecting on online dating and they're just like asking how you're doing, or, I get really impressed when someone comes up with a creative question to start off rather than how is your weekend? And then you reply, you're responding. And, a few videos back, I was talking about what makes a good follow. She responds, like she doesn't start leading the whole thing. She responds, and the response shouldn't be like, oh, I'm going to give you now everything because you wrote me one message, as far as dating goes. Or even in relationships, if someone is, planning a date for you and you respond by like saying thank you so much for the effort, and you get dressed up and you like show your appreciation for the effort that they've put in, you're responding. But if you start doing what I used to do sometimes in dating, it's like I was choosing, first of all, the wrong partners, and then I knew or could feel that this person wasn't going to, set the time or the date or set a proper date. So I decided I'm going to do it. And the amount of pressure or connection or response that I was giving was way surpassing what the other person was giving me. So they were probably like, oh, this is great. I don't have to do anything. She's just going to do everything. And I kept doing that. And it really backfires because then you become the person that is always doing it. You're always like giving too much pressure. You're always like leading when you should be maybe following. And same goes the other way around. Like if you're the person that is like, okay, I'm going to, you know, this person sounds really interested and I'm going to play hard to get and decide that, well, I'm not going to call them for a few days or quite a few hours because I want them to like miss me. Oh yeah, this happened recently to me. This guy that I wasn't quite sure what I thought of him, and then when we met up in person, I was really, really pleasantly surprised that we had like a good connection. And um, yeah, I was totally willing to give it a chance, which I hadn't thought that we would have a lot to talk about or connect. And then a few days go by and he's like viewing my stories on my WhatsApp, like every day, watching all the stories, and he's not saying anything. And so like other people are asking me to do things and I'm saying yes to them. And so I start planning other things with other people and I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on here. And days go by and this guy says like, hey, just wondering how you're doing. I'm like, oh, I'm doing great. I'm a little confused because on our date he had said like, oh, I want to take you out to the sushi place. And he was kind of like really into like the next time I'm going to plan something like really fun for us. And now that we've met, I'm really excited to get to know you more and stuff. And I said, I was kind of like confused because I didn't hear from you. And he said, oh, I just thought I would give you some space. And he would write me messages like, do you miss me? And I was like, you have to give me something to miss. Like, I don't know you. You made these promises and sounded really enthusiastic, and now you're not doing anything, holding back, trying to be cool, like as if, but that doesn't interest me. I have to admit, in the past, that would interest me in a really weird way. Like, I would think, oh, I need to do something. So, again, I was like the one pushing, putting too much pressure, tension, too much connection, too much weight, and not matching my partner's connection or reaching out. I was putting too much in. But now I find it really flaky if someone is not doing what they say, and I match their energy. Like if you're not going to message me or call me for a few days and you are like, "Oh, do you miss me?" I'm like, I just straight out said, "No. You have to give me something to miss. I don't know you. Like I thought we were going to hang out and stuff." And I made plans with other people and I don't think this is the right connection for me. And he was really shocked. But I feel like this is so resonant for me with like my experience in dance and how people, you know, I had to really learn to lighten up first in dance because I was trying to do too much, especially in my head. I was trying to match, I wasn't even matching energies. I was putting too much energy on my part. And then when I was lightening up, I could notice then, like, this is the crazy thing is that when you really stand in your like ability to match a partner's energy or match like how much effort or how much connection or pressure or, that they put in, it gives you a better sense of what they're putting in. So once I lightened up and I stopped trying to make everything happen, and I was trusting that this person could lead me, and I trusted myself to feel and to follow, I could really feel their lead. I could listen to it. I wasn't like, oh, okay, they're not doing enough, so I'm going to go ahead and do all this stuff. When I'm doing all this stuff, when I'm putting more tension and more pressure in, I can't actually even feel what the person's doing, and I don't give them a chance to do their part. I was talking about this in my video about masculine, feminine energies. If you as a feminine energy person is giving too much and being too much in your masculine and doing all the things, you actually rob your masculine energy person from doing their part, or seeing that maybe they're never going to do a part, they're never going to put effort in, and maybe that's not the right person for you. And it was like that in dance too. Like I could finally feel into a lead when I started matching the pressure of what they were giving me, like in terms of just literally like physical connection. I wasn't pushing too much. I was like, okay, sometimes when they're leading something that needs more like me really being centered, I could feel it in the tension that they were giving me, and I had to match that so that I could follow through with the movement that they were doing. And I love how I can see this in life outside of the dance floor, but also life outside the dance floor. These examples of when this happens, when you're putting too much tension in or you're not responding enough, that also teaches me again how to dance. Like it reminds me of this amazing concept in dance and how it works in both areas, like in all areas. And, some people might say, well, then it becomes this game because, like, okay, if I'm going to match what some guy is like, you know, if he's writing to me, then I'm going to match him. Or if he's planning a date, then I will match that. Then he might be doing the same thing. He might be saying, okay, I'm going to match her energy. So if she's not doing anything, I'm not going to do anything. Nobody does anything. And it's like stalemate and nothing goes anywhere. And that's a very valid point to bring up. And I think the key is to put a little bit in. There's a dating coach, Matthew Hussey, who explains this much better than I'm going to right now. But he basically says, like, the key is to like put a little bit in and see how they respond. And then if they respond, you put in a bit more. Or if they are first putting something in, you respond, and you just see what the dynamic is. You don't want to start like overly putting everything into this person. It's not a game. It's actually for your own sense of awareness. Like, how is this person going to show up for me? Or how do they like to show up in dating? It's the same in dance. It's like if you start pushing so much onto someone, you don't get a sense of like, you don't even give them a chance to learn how to lead. That's the crazy thing. If you're a follow that is like maneuvering the movements instead of following, and you're putting not matching pressure, but overly putting in more pressure or more connection than it needs, your lead will never learn how to lead. He will never know what it means to actually lead the move. And it's true in life as well. We will never, like the lead or the partner, the male energy partner or the masculine energy partner will not get a chance to show up for his feminine energy partner. And also, if they don't show up, that's really good information. And you won't see it, you won't feel if they are showing up, if they're doing their part, if you are over emphasizing your part, if that makes sense. So matching energies, matching connection, so important in dance, so important in life, so important in relationships. Thank you all for listening, and I'll see you all next time.